You a new doctor that recently completed residency training or fellowship training? Are you now considering job offers? Before you sign that contract, watch this video. Welcome to SoulMD Travel Doctor. I'm Dr. Gibson. On this channel, I discuss all things related to early, middle, and late career physicians transitioning to becoming a travel doctor. Why? So that you can earn more money, work less hours, take back your time, and regain your autonomy. I recently watched a video titled, "What is it really like to be a locum tenens doctor?" by Dr. Gregory Charlotte of Wellness MD. In today's video, I will discuss the top 4 pros and cons of why new doctors should consider becoming a travel doctor. I'll start with the pros. Number 1, you can experience practicing in different regions of the country. For instance, you may have trained on the West Coast, but you can take a travel assignment on the East Coast and vice versa. You may have trained in a suburban setting, but you can take a travel assignment in a rural area and vice versa. It gives you options so that you don't have to commit to a certain area immediately after training. Number 2, you can experience what it's like to practice in different settings. For instance, acute care settings such as hospitals versus rehab settings versus skilled nursing. Number 3, pro for why new doctors should consider becoming a travel doctor is you don't have to sign a long-term contract immediately after training. Your final year training is usually a culmination of gaining confidence in treating patients, preparing for your board exams, and scouting out new jobs. Sometimes this involves moving to new cities or new countries. Your schedules can sometimes seem rushed when you're trying to balance so much within a short amount of time. Being a travel doctor allows you to take more time to contemplate what you want to do, where you want to be, what your family desires, without rushing into a long-term contract. And you're still able to provide a good salary for your family. New doctors considering being a travel doctor is you don't have to commit to long-term contracts with strict restrictive covenant clauses or no-compete agreements. Oftentimes, new doctors are not aware of the implications of a no-compete clause or a restrictive covenant. What this means is oftentimes long-term contracts will have a paragraph that states that if you sever ties with that particular group or that particular hospital, that you cannot work within a certain mile radius of that site or any of its affiliate sites. This could actually restrict you from working within the entire city of which you live or the entire state, depending on how large the group you're working for is. So it's very important to review the restrictive covenant clauses with an attorney to make sure that it's within limits of the law. Again, these restrictive covenants are not a part of travel doctor contracts, period. So you could actually take a full assignment at a particular hospital, and if you really like it, for a full-time job, it will be a matter of the hospital paying the travel doctor company a finder's fee, and you can join their team if you so desire. Now let's look at the cons of new doctors becoming a travel doctor. The cons usually cause most new doctors to pause or stop the process, but I'm here today to encourage you to consider it. Number 1 con for why new doctors do not consider becoming travel doctors is that they don't have enough experience. This is true that most hospitals or clinics would like for you to have 1 to 2 years of experience before working their site as a travel doctor. Why? Well, as a travel doctor, you need to be able to figure things out on your own with very little assistance. Yes, you have your colleagues to bounce things off of, but sometimes you're working night shifts alone, and if you've gained enough experience, you know pretty much who to go to, or what general area to find what you need. And if you're inexperienced, that can sometimes hinder the process. But let me encourage you, COVID-19 pandemic changed the game. Most facilities are struggling to find adequately trained doctors. Therefore, the requirement of 1 to 2 years of experience is oftentimes removed. This is done on a case-by-case basis. Also remember that if you've done any moonlighting as a senior resident or fellow, that you can count this towards your experience. So don't forget to include that on your CV. The number 2 reason why new doctors don't consider becoming a travel doctor is the lack of a quote-unquote practice home. Yes, your colleagues, many of them will be signing long-term contracts and will be bragging about what new city they're moving to, what new group they're going to be working with, how much their salary is, and what's included in their benefits package. I caution you, don't be impressed. You don't need a practice home. Oftentimes, the first job that you take out of fellowship or residency will not be your permanent job. Actually, most of the time, it will not be your permanent job. So don't allow the lack of a practice home deter you. You'll actually be able to pick a better practice home by being a travel doctor. Number 3 con for why new doctors don't consider becoming a travel doctor is lack of a benefit package. Again, your colleagues may be discussing what their sign-in bonus is, what benefits they and their family will gain from their new job or new employed job. As a travel doctor, none of those benefits are afforded to you. You actually have to create your own benefit package. How do you do this? You essentially negotiate in your pay rate an appropriate amount that is comparable to affording you things such as health insurance, dental insurance, life insurance, IRA or 401k. The group they're going to be working with, how much their salary is, and what's included in their benefits package. I caution you, don't be impressed. You don't need a practice home. Oftentimes, the first job that you take out of fellowship or residency will not be your permanent job. Actually, most of the time, it will not be your permanent job. So don't allow the lack of a practice home deter you. You'll actually be able to pick a better practice home by being a travel doctor. Number 3 con for why new doctors don't consider becoming a travel doctor is lack of a benefit package. Again, your colleagues may be discussing what their sign-in bonus is, what benefits they and their family will gain from their new job or new employed job. As a travel doctor, none of those benefits are afforded to you. You actually have to create your own benefit package. How do you do this? You essentially negotiate in your pay rate an appropriate amount that is comparable to affording you things such as health insurance, dental insurance, life insurance, IRA or 401k, etc. The number 4 con for why doctors don't consider becoming a travel doctor is their lack of experience as an independent contractor or 1099 contractor. Again, don't allow this to deter you. Essentially, you need an accountant who can easily set all this up in less than half a day and will review things that you need to do along the way throughout the year to assure that you are paying appropriate taxes, etc. The top 4 pros for why new doctors should consider becoming a travel doctor are: number 1, you get to practice in different areas of the country. Number 2, you get to practice in different practice settings. Number 3, you don't have to commit to a long-term contract immediately out of training. And number 4, you don't have to rush into accepting a new job straight out of residency or fellowship and still provide a great salary for you and your family. The top 4 cons of why new doctors don't consider becoming a travel doctor: lack of professional experience, lack of a benefits package. Number 3, lack of experience as a 1099 or independent contractor. And number 4, not having a practice home. Since you made it this far in the video, I think that you're interested. Download my free guide, which is a partial list of the larger travel doctor companies and their respective website links. You can see how easy it is to start this process today. The link is in the description of this video below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so that you will be the first to see my next video.